Being a fan of anything nowadays really sucks, and I want to do something about it. So I ask you, are you also tired of the phrase, go woke, go broke? Are you exhausted from all the pessimistic and hateful videos made by people who claim to be fans, but who really just want to profit from outrage clicks? Do you sometimes wish that there was an alternative to how soul-sucking and depressing it feels to be a fan on the internet nowadays? Would you perhaps be interested in helping to create a community for all fans? A community that is both inclusive and that promotes a diversity of thought and belief, but whose core sentiment is to make people feel welcome. Essentially, what I want is to fight back against the fandom menace, the anti-SJWs, the reactionary film critics, and everyone else who gets upset and whines whenever they see minorities in a film or who build their communities on hate and negativity. I want to promote healthy film criticism and help make us nerds feel like proper nerds again. So if you're
I've never seen anything like it! Baby Clade! What is the president doing in our front yard?
Our entire world is in grave danger. I want you to come with me on an expedition.
I'm not my father. He was the explorer.
I know you were just a kid when you went missing, but now, you're all we got.
Are you baiting me, detective?
Attempting to be thorough so we can figure out the manner of death.
You mean if someone killed him? You think one of us, one of his family, killed him?
Mr. Blanc, I just buried my father who committed suicide. Why are you here?
I suspect foul play. I have eliminated no suspects.
I was cleaning house.
Everyone in the family has possible motives. They're all friends. Why would anyone commit murder?
Are we even going to talk about the elephant in the room?
Am I the elephant?
Yeah, you're the elephant.
You're not that bad.
Think of the danger here.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see.
Let it all out.
Hell yeah!
This is reckless. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
You must be really great at clue hunting.
I'm very bad at dumb things. Ticking boxes, running around, searching all the rooms. It's just a terrible, terrible game.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome back to another Organized Chaos podcast. My name is Bobby Quarters, and with me, as always, is Bob Chaos. How goes it, my man?
Ooh, Bob Chaos. Is that my name
Yeah.
now? Do I have to legally change it?
I've just determined it to be so, and it's a new year, new you, so there you go.
Oh. Wait, do I have to change my kids' names too? How far do I have to go with this?
Well, I mean, how in character can you be?
This seems like a lot of work. Holy shit.
That seems like a lot of commitment.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's like Hulk Hogan level commitment. You gotta open up a beach shop too, sell like a bunch of overpriced memorabilia.
Well, it's not just us today, Bobby. We have a guest.
It is.
Mermaid enthusiast himself, TurfNation. How you doing, Turf?
Hello. I'm a bit taken aback by the sudden shift in using our sexy voices. I didn't realize that was what we're about.
Yeah,
that was the cadence.
We're all about here.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Premieres it.
I didn't realize it was this kind of podcast. No. Yeah. How are you guys doing? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Doing good. Had a pretty good New Year's Eve. Started off as a horrible Christmas. Just I had caught COVID right like a weeks prior to all of it. Yeah, so I had just kind of kicked everything and was like safe to be around everyone like maybe the day before Christmas Eve.
Nice. Sorry, it was just I don't know if you guys could hear that. There was just someone drilling next to me. Hopefully that doesn't get picked up.
Well, listen, I didn't pick it up, but now I have to add it since you've talked about it in the podcast. So there will now be a.
There was somebody hammering below. There was somebody hammering below me before we started. I'm kind of happy they've stopped now because
there was someone hammering me before we started, but then I had to like get onto here.
Yeah. Like, hey, I got stuff to do
before we started.
Yeah.
At least you're not getting hammered while we're doing this, so you know.
Oh, sure, yes. Non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got an exciting show. Obviously, we have TurfNation here. We're gonna talk to him, talk about his whole YouTube thing. How he has all the wrong points of view, just like me. We're both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just wrong on everything.
We're grifters.
Yeah, obviously.
We're just in it for the money, but we're not getting a lot of views, so it's kind of a pointless effort. But we're trying it anyways.
We're gonna go for it. I mean, we're just besmirching the good name of Critical Drinker. So
exactly.
Yeah, there is a market. There is an audience.
Yes.
But after that, we'll get to some movies. We're going to talk about Strange World. And then we're going to do a kind of a double feature. We're going to do Knives Out and Glass Onion. Get all the... Crap, what's his name? Benoit Blanc movies out of the way?
Benoit Blanc.
Ah, Benoit Blanc. That sounds good.
Just watched it, so it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah. It's Benny, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Benjamin.
That sounds like
Benjamin Blank.
Yeah.
Benny Blanks.
Is he related to Benjamin Button?
Yes, indeed he is.
No, he's related to Billy Blanks, though. However.
Yeah. No, they're all in the same family.
Yeah. Big family gathering. Big family gathering.
That's what the trilogy is going to be about.
Yeah,
it's about those three.
But
his videotape market.
Before we get into the movies, we have a couple news pieces to talk about. First, what?
Very briefly, yeah.
Yeah, Barbara Walters just passed. She couldn't have been young. I did not have time to research.
93 years old.
93. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had probably one of the longest running careers in broadcast journalism from 1951 to 2016.
Okay, yeah, I was like, she hadn't retired. I want to say she retired in her 80s, too. So
a couple of years ago, too. Yeah.
So she hadn't been retired that long. Well, I mean, she got a couple years retirement behind her.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on Barbara Walters, I'll be frank. She did...
No, I don't either. I mean, I remember her, being a key figure of journalism and always her interviews being a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But she always did a legit job, and the interviews were actually very decent if it was something that you were interested in watching at that time.
Yeah. Essentially, that was her thing. And it worked. Any thoughts on Barbara Walters, Turf?
I'm not that familiar with her, but
it's weird. I'm familiar with her, but I don't have a whole lot to say. She interviewed celebrities.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She
I know that she was
regular news.
She was also the head of a nightly news program. Was it 2020?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did 2020 with Hugh Downs.
Hugh Downs.
Yeah,
Hugh Downs. I believe she was one of the first female lead anchors too.
Oh, probably
as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, of a nightly news program. So I mean, definitely groundbreak. No ceiling. She went through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard her name a lot, It's one of those things, but I just don't personally know too much about what her work,
Mm-hmm. Well, it's probably because they're in mermaid land. I mean,
it has something to do with that. They don't really have TV down here, but
I mean, it's unrelated. But the last debate I was in, the guy was arguing that the Little Mermaid being black was an issue because it's rude to Danish culture.
Yeah, as you probably know, there are no black people in Denmark, and we also do have mermaids, and our oceans look like the Caribbean.
It's amazing.
So everything about the Little Mermaid movie is just factually incorrect, and anyone who supports it should just, I don't know, die. No, I've
ridiculous.
Yeah, I've that whole argument that it's written by a Danish person, it makes no sense. It's First of all, just any arguments of people calling the race out is just an idiot.
Yeah,
they have no clue what they're doing. They're just I don't even know what they're trying to do. It's just Yeah. If I knew, maybe it would be easier to fathom, but it's not.
Life would make a bit more sense.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're not that lucky.
But, all right. So, was there anything else happening in the news? I mean, has anybody heard of Greta Thunberg or Andrew Tate? I've not heard of these people. I'm not familiar. Did anything happen with them?
Oh, they're quite small. I think we should just move on.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't talk about that. I don't think anybody's talking about this at all.
No.
This was the perfect way to end off 2022 and start off 2023.
Yeah, this was kind of just beautiful.
How do you take such an L? I don't get it.
He took the L in every conceivable way.
All he had to do was not make a full video responding to a 19-year-old environmentalist. He didn't.
Oh, the amount of effort that he even put into the video.
Imagine getting so triggered. When you have this whole persona of being the top G, the alpha male. I don't take shit from. Oh wait, am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
Fuck.
Okay,
no.
perfect.
Watch your fucking language, you piece of
watch
shit.
your fucking mouth, man.
Listen, I'm fucking sorry. Okay, I didn't mean to. No, but being the guy, the shit, and then getting so triggered by a tweet by a 19-year-old girl, that you just had, by a teenager, that you had to make a video flexing your Bugatti or whatever, and buying a pizza to show, oh, what a roast. I don't know how Greta ever came back from that. And it was a miracle that she did, and she came back and she ended his career, essentially.
Yeah.
So if you're one of the 5 people who hasn't heard this story, I'll give you a quick rundown. So Andrew Tate threw out a tweet that said, at Greta Thunberg, I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has a W16 8 liter quad turbo. My 2 Ferraris 812 Capizzone have 6.5 liters V12. This is just a start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions. And, Greta Thunberg is obviously a climate activist. And then I love Greta Thunberg's response is simply, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com. Just fucking, just perfect.
Just kind of yeah, fuck you, dude.
No, I mean, and she's right. That whole thing is such fucking small dick energy. I have so many cars, just not compensation at all, guys.
Not at all.
I didn't even realize that he started it.
Yeah, I think he had seen a tweet she had made.
Yeah, but not about him.
He had no, not even about him. I think it's just
he
about
was the one that
vehicles and pollution. Yeah. So I know she had made a comment about cars polluting and higher octane ones.
Yeah,
something to that regard. He replied with that, and even retweeted his reply. And
but yeah, no,
her reply is the perfect thing to say to an alpha male with bad confidence,
Yeah,
because that's Andrew Tate doesn't have confidence, he has an outwards appearance of confidence. He has that big he has a bunch of money, he has a lot of power, he has that layer of oh, I can say what I want, I'm a big scary kickboxer dude, right? But he's insecure as hell. Everyone knows it. Everyone who's not a dick rider of him, right?
Yeah.
So it's this was the perfect tweet to get at his insecurities, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
He got really pissy about it.
No, his response was beautiful. He did a fucking video response just to establish how well not triggered he was.
How long do you think how much time do you think he spent picking on which robe to wear?
Yeah, no.
Did you think he was saying in his head no, I spent this much on this one, but I spent this much on this one?
No,
which one emitted the most carbon making in the factory? It's probably this one.
Which one killed the most trees just for the fibers?
Yeah.
Do you think his head was steaming as he was walking around his closet, just with his fist clenched and stuff? Just
I saw this one meme that had.
She has no idea what's coming to her.
This is going to be such an epic burn.
No.
She won't know what hit her.
Well, this one meme I saw of it, which is just as good as the one you got up for people watching the video, was this one of it showed like a stairway, and it was just like just a photo of just a shot going down the stairs, and all this holes in the drywall. Like it just got punched the shit out. And it said Andrew Tate said after the Romanian police raided it.
Yeah.
Anytime I've been seeing ours pop up, that drywall did not stand a chance.
No. Well, that was the beautiful thing about that video. So he's smoking a cigar, talking about the emissions, and he's bringing over his pizza boxes, which can't be recycled because the oil's in them. And the pizza, the name on the pizza place, allowed the cops the ability to find him. I'm willing to guess that what happened was he probably has delivery because he's a dipshit. So they were able to contact the pizza place, figure out where they were delivered to, and then they arrested him for trafficking, which he'd been wanted for.
As from what I understand, he's still being detained.
Yeah, him and his
for
brother.
At least 30 days for it. And as we all know, like law enforcement agencies don't conduct raids of innocent people. So yeah,
there's a lot of people being like, oh, he got swatted by people who don't like him. Like that was not it.
Then he would be released.
Yeah,
then they would have been released. They would have found out about it for at least a few more weeks.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be automatic news.
Yeah. Also, I saw something about, like, apparently the Romanian government have said that it wasn't the pizza box. Like, there was another reason they knew he was in the country. But it's just like either if it was the pizza box who did it, then it's so funny. And even if not, it's still so funny, Like, it's still such a big L he took.
Yeah.
Like last year, he took both like some of the biggest W's and the biggest L's. Like his rise to fame, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also just his downfalls. It was a roller coaster.
No, well, I mean, I wasn't too familiar with him until I saw that little it was only like 20 minutes long, that debate he had it with Hassan. And,
Hassan, yeah. That was like right at the top of like his rise. That was so funny.
Yeah.
That was kind of beautiful to watch.
That was like the first time he'd during his rise that he'd talk to someone who wasn't a pushover,
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Well, I mean, Tate agreed to it, not knowing really who Hassan was.
Exactly.
He would call him out on his bullshit and not back down.
Like, that's the thing. Someone like Hassan is like the perfect person to like talk to someone like Andrew Tate, because Hassan is also like he has the exterior of like an alpha male, he's massive as hell, he's people like he's very attractive, stuff like that, but then he's also just a very good political commentator, and he's not insecure. So it's like he's like the perfect opposition to Andrew Tate, and he got smoked in that debate.
Yeah, no, quite easily. It wasn't even a long debate, and he just was getting fucking destroyed.
Yeah, like Hassan could have gone further in.
No,
but he just...
Hassan was actually fairly nice. He was just asking basic questions, and Tate just crumbled.
Exactly.
He did.
Yeah, no, Andrew Tate's like a lot of these guys who are alpha males. They have this whole exterior of being alpha males, and you push them a little bit, and they become the whiniest snowflakes you've ever seen in your life. It is amazing. I mean, the Greta Thunberg thing verifies it. Like, she accused him of having a small dick, and he just got triggered and gave the authorities the information they need to get arrested.
In her reply... So there's somewhere where he does reply, and I mean in all caps, "How dare you!" Like exclamation point question.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because he's
he's so mad. He big mad.
I love people like big like influencers should speak like anime characters. He's like one of them, I can just imagine sitting there. They're like you don't know what you have unleashed, It's just like, it's
he's
it's a situation.
He's a
yeah.
He is a joke.
The thing is, like, every like big like anyone who like leans into this whole alpha male persona, right? It's like are always the most insecure people.
Yes.
You know? Like I feel like one of the least alpha male thing to do is to like is put other people down who aren't as strong as you, you know?
Oh.
Like when I think of like alpha male, right? I think of like if I had to think about the term alpha male, right? You know, like if you think of like a wolf, you know, like the leader of a pack, right? It's like the one who stands in the front that protects the rest of the pack, that defends the weak ones, you know? It's like all these big like alpha male types of people are the ones who just bring other people down. They just bring other people down to build themselves up because they're so insecure. And I feel like it goes against everything they want themselves to be about.
Ah, yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
he did reply to that. How dare you?
My mistake. It wasn't in all caps, though, but it did have a question mark and an exclamation point, and each word was capitalized.
Screaming insecurity. And then, of course, Hassan has the first reply. Trying to beef with teenagers instead of adults and still losing is wild.
That's so funny. I love
Hassan's debate that his debate that he had years ago with Tommy Loren was also a beautiful moment in history and just proof of how good he can be at a political like debate and as a political commentator. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
like the thing is like he doesn't even. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, just with my own debate experience recently, I'm just learning these guys don't have arguments. Like you put a little bit of pressure on them, and they just crumble like so quickly. Like, when I mean pressure, I mean just let them talk, and then point out, here's the hole, and they just like it's like their head's spinning. It's like fuck.
Years ago, I knew this guy that I would see at a local pool hall, and we would always have conversations, and mostly if we stuck to music or sports, it would be good. But every so often, politics would just rear its head in there. And I knew where this guy kind of stood on the very conservative right. You know, now I'm sure he would be full MAGA. I haven't talked to him in years, but it was always around in Obama's first term or second term, where he was just dead hard set convinced, you know, like he's going to come and take the guns. And I looked at him like, so he's going to come to your front door and personally take your guns. Well, no, not that. Like, you know, the government agents, guys in suits, like the Men in Black are going to come. Well, it'd be like, you know, okay, so what guns are they going to take from you? Are they going to take like, you know, what, do you have a bazooka? Well, no. Okay. Do you have something that's like a chain gun? Like it has like a 2,000 or some odd fucking bullets or something? Well, no. Okay. What do you have? Well, I have a shotgun. Do you think they're going to come after your shotty? Well, no. Okay. Well, maybe not that exactly. Just a little pressure. You're right. Just come on. Like,
it's like, oh, so that whole argument was just nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me whining. Well, you know, I do remember when Obama was in office and day one, all guns were outlawed, and that's how come there's no guns on the street anymore.
Yeah.
Thing that definitely happened.
I mean that's the thing. After Obama was president, you know, like I haven't seen a single gun in my country, you know. So
yeah.
So yeah, he outlawed them. That's what happened.
Worldwide. That's what Obama, the president of the United States of America does.
Yeah, the states of America are other countries. Those are
sure.
The president of the world. Yeah. No, but yeah, like from what I've never been in like an online debate, but like from the debates I've seen, like I've watched a lot of like Vosh debates against people like this, you know, and like I feel like the hardest thing, or the thing that you need to, that takes the most effort in these debates is keeping them on one thing, you know, because they often try to switch over to other points, you know, once you start criticizing their argument. If you can manage to stay on an argument, you can so easily break it down. But some of them, like the ones that are media trained, are very good at switching in between arguments, and then it's hard to stay on track. You know, like a Ben Shapiro is very good at this. He's a very hard one for anyone to crack down, right? Because he's so good at just saying so many things at once, right? That like you lose focus of that one first argument that he made that you're trying to like counter. Essentially.
Well, yeah, and all of his cronies are the same way too.
Yeah,
like they all have a very
exactly.
similar rhetoric to their agenda.
Yeah, well, it's the difference between debating like an actual like grifter and debating like true believers. The true believers, you can usually get them on points and stuff like that. The grifters are 100% fine jumping around because they know they're full of shit.
Yep.
They
Yeah,
will
there's
lie to your face.
Yeah, there's some people I work with who have been buying into the Matt Walsh's latest campaign. Yeah, I just try and go, oh, so you've seen actual statistics of this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had so okay. Did you confirm their research for them, or did you go and look and do your own study of it? No, you're just going off what they're saying. Well, that's no different than religiously watching any news or media outlet. Well, how do you get it? I read the same story from about 8 different articles, and I form my own opinion.
Yeah, it's this little thing called research. You should try it sometime. You should.
Yeah.
There's research from other biased sources. So
yeah.
Yeah, I read some very biased from both ends. Some of them are very hard to. Some of them are a chore to get through.
Listen, man, I got some good sources. I got Bounty in the Comics. I got Giant Freaking Robot. I'm set, man. Those two got me.
Pretty
covered.
much what I'm saying. Yeah, pretty much what I'm saying is like I've read a lot of this stuff from Fox News and Daily Wire for this conversation about this, and I mean, and other sources like one was Flex Weekly or something like that. I don't know. You could guess how that one went.
Yeah. Well, I know Quartering did a video talking about how Andrew Tate epically owned Greta Thunberg. And it was just like, on what metric?
Yes.
I didn't watch it, but I did see the title and I just laughed and scrolled past.
Yeah, no.
Maybe just like, don't recommend this.
Yeah.
No.
Which one's in jail right now? Just a thought.
Well, actually, the whole aesthetic of being in jail is pretty cool. Don't you think? There are some cool jail movies, right?
Well,
Greta Thunberg being out in the real world.
Yeah.
That's not very like I'm sure Andrew Tate is in jail right now, like owning the place. He's the leader. He's the warden. Like he's
making
asserts,
friends, yes.
he asserts dominance. He's probably like beating them all in a fight, like everyone at the same time. Well, that's what a top G does.
A kickboxing fight in the yard, yeah.
Yes.
I am certain he is doing well.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Well, just to conclude this little piece, because there was a bit to say. Greta Thunberg really had the last line with simply she tweeted after everything happened, "This is why you recycle your pizza boxes."
Yep.
But can they even?
No, not technically, but it's great.
It's a great line. It's a great line.
All right.
And then she just went, oh, sorry, yeah, no.
I was just gonna move on to Turf. Tell us about yourself.
I'm a little boy from Ohio. No. Well, my channel is a little bit of I do a lot of what we've just been doing, calling out people with bad opinions, and then I or at least in my opinion, I think they're bad and problematic, and then I make little videos ranting about it. And yeah, I try as much as I can to leave room for debate, right? Even though a lot of people in my comments don't like to think that I do that. They think I'm very one-sided, and you know what? Yeah, I am. But yeah, so I make a lot of videos on like at the moment covering like a lot of anti-woke stuff, that kind of thing, the same thing that Bob also does. And then I also make a lot of video essays on movies and TV shows and video games that I like. And yeah, I like to have a good balance between, the good work and just my own passion. So yeah, that's a little bit about what TurfNation is.
Well, what inspired you to start this channel?
Well, this was originally I made the channel back in 2014 because I wanted to make Minecraft videos, and then in 2019 I started making Minecraft videos on it. Because I was playing with my friends, and then we were recording, and then so it was fun. And then that went on for like 3 months or so, And then The Rise of Skywalker came out, so I made a video on that. And then I realized, well, I've been walking around for the past couple years with a lot of emotions about The Last Jedi and the discourse surrounding it. So why not start making some videos on that? And so I did that. And then I started out mostly as like a Star Wars YouTuber, kind of defending the sequels, being the voice of the sequels in a way, because there wasn't a lot of that on YouTube. And then it eventually just grew to more, like, I realized that there was toxic Star Wars fans, not just for the sequels, also the prequels and the original trilogy, and then outside of Star Wars, in Marvel, and suddenly it was every fandom, right? And then there was these people who were frontlining it, like Geeks and Gamers, and then Nerdrotic and Quartering, RK Outpost, Critical Drinker, and it kind of all just like, I started realizing how much there was to this, and yeah, just haven't looked back since, I guess.
Yeah, no, it sounds kind of similar to me, where it's just kind of, you're just covering people, and all of a sudden you realize, wait, is this fucking everywhere?
Yeah. It was a massive problem, way bigger problem than what I initially thought. It's like, oh, The Last Jedi people hate it, and they kind of suck for doing that because I like it, and it was very, my beginning videos were very, I kind of like put down the prequels to defend the sequels. It was very like close-minded. I was like, oh, people don't like this movie that I don't like, But then I started realizing that there was a bigger picture. Not everyone who dislikes The Last Jedi is toxic or anything like that. There's perfectly fine to not like it, and that's something I realized, right? But that there's also a lot of people who used it to further to kind of spread hate and to build themselves up on the premise of this hate. And then they also just have very, in my opinion, problematic politics that they are giving to viewers who identify as geeks and gamers, and nerds. And then I've just slowly started seeing how there's a link between these small channels and even the highest of politics in America. With these people down here calling everything woke, to Ron DeSantis being like, oh, that's woke, and yeah, so I feel like it was just very much it kind of like gradually opened a door to how big this problem was.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. YouTube is insane right now. I do feel like something needs to be done. But yeah, it's like if you decide to dive into like geek culture on YouTube right now, you're gonna start getting a whole bunch of right-wing grifters pitching shit to you very quickly. And I don't like that. I don't. Can't like it'd be one thing if like you clicked on dove into geek culture and you just started watching like Red Letter Media or something like that, which I'm not thrilled with all their stuff, but at least they're not doing this. But then pretty soon you're going on a path towards Critical Drinker, who I always felt like was kind of like the cheap version of Mr. Plinkett, and then and he's your gateway into these other guys. It's frustrating.
Yeah. There's a bunch of channels like that. Like, I also, as like a Star Wars fan, like Star Wars Theory, like the biggest Star Wars channel, is like kind of like has made videos with geeks and gamers and like what's the the dude's name, like the 3PO guy. I don't fully remember.
Drunk 3PO?
Yeah, Drunk 3PO.
Yeah.
Like those people, so like and through just associating with them, seeing that they're good people, that they reached out to him when he was in need, like some of his fans will check them out, and then even though he doesn't necessarily like, I still have a lot of problems with Star Wars Theory's content, but he doesn't go full on like woke and right wing politics, but he's still like through the association as a big YouTuber, the people that he vouches for are people that his audience are gonna gravitate towards naturally. And it could be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day where, like, in probably even still now, I haven't really checked them out recently. Like, you'd just be like, you'd do like little factoid videos about Star Wars, and here's something I read in this book, and it'd be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then I heard about, like, mainly through you, like, oh, he's working with Geeks and Gamers. It's like, oh, the fuck? And that's the easy way to make money. All these guys work together.
Yeah.
And, they're not part of the Phantom Menace. They just do everything the Phantom Menace does. But, But yeah,
not technically a part of the fandom menace, but I like them.
Yeah,
I like what they stand for, and I do it myself. But
yes, we are grifters, but we're not very good at it, apparently. So I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. So, doing my type of content, I've noticed I get a lot of hate, and I'm imagining you probably do too.
Yes, a lot of it, and it's been like that ever since I started making videos on The Last Jedi, and it's been consistent throughout my entire channel. A lot of it.
Yeah, well, they'll be happy to get a ratio on you, even though that doesn't mean anything. But hey,
a ratio, like a dislike ratio, one of the best things that can happen to your video.
Yeah.
It sends it right into the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
When people are like, "Oh, you have 42,000 dislikes on this video," I'm like, "Yes." There's a reason the video has almost 400,000 views. It's like you're sending the video out. You're and that leads to likes too. It's
I mean, I prefer likes to dislikes, but when they brag about the ratio, and it's like, when you guys can ratio She-Hulk on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't think ratio in one of my videos is all that tough.
No, like, it also doesn't say anything particular,
Well, I mean, yeah.
Like
if they
when there's a bunch of people...
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, when there's a bunch of people in my comments talking about how I've been ratioed, and it's like, oh, you should look at this dislike ratio, look at what we've done to you. It's like, what are you trying to say? It's like there's a lot of you guys, you've come here because I've gone after your guy, and you've disliked. I'm sure there are plenty of my dislikes on my channel from people who generally don't like my videos and think my arguments aren't good.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of them from people who just are angry that I've attacked their favorite YouTuber,
Yeah.
And then they've come to dislike my videos. Like, when I put out a video, it's often like I get that quick surge of like a lot of likes right away, right?
Nice.
But already like when I wake up the next day, like 12 hours after I uploaded my videos or something, it's already at like most of my videos, if it's on a specific person, right? Like my video essays aren't quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
But like if a video on one of these people, it's already at like a 70%, like to dislike ratio. There's like some people just, I think I have a lot of subscribers of people who just don't like me.
Yeah, no, I don't actually think they're subscribers, but I actually do have people who like to hang out in my comments and dislike and brag about the dislike. I'm pretty sure they're not subscribers because I set my live chat when I stream to like subscriber only, and like all of a sudden all the hate is not there.
Oh, okay, maybe yeah.
Yeah, it's
maybe they just like follow. Sometimes there are those channels where you just watch them, but you don't actually subscribe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have that, but sometimes I realize after a while I'm like, oh, I'm not subscribed to this, but I get recommended their videos all the time,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened to me. Actually, that's how I found one of my favorite channels on YouTube. It's one called Polyphonic, where he kind of just dives into music and just talks about different aspects of different genres.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I could actually recall the exact video where I remembered it, and he was talking about the history of making deals with the devil in music. And he's like, if you're not subscribed, check it out. I was like, scrolling down, like, holy crap, I'm not. I've been watching this guy's stuff for like months.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
It's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
I feel humiliated right now. Like I just got called out.
And every time one of them is like, oh, I'm trying to hit this subscriber count by the end of the year or something, I'm like, yeah, why aren't people subscribing? And I'm just not subscribed myself. But yeah, there is a lot of hate coming into this like part of YouTube if you want to make these kinds of videos, right? And I feel like I was in a way like a good fit because I'm kind of a masochist. I either that or I just don't care. It's either I like reading hate comments because it just means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Like it doesn't faze me in any way. What phases me is like people who I know or myself, right? I can start overthinking a video. Someone who's being like, "Oh, you should kill yourself," or like, "What are you doing? This is the worst video I've ever watched." Like that doesn't matter. in any way, right? But it matters to a lot of people, right? I don't think that it's necessarily normal to not react emotionally to that, you know? But it's I just feel like that's the thing, like you and Dane have talked about before how you like block people, right? And that's absolutely the right thing to do, right? Like if someone's being an asshole, you block them. Like there's nothing. All these people are like, oh, why are you blocking people? Are you afraid of like someone countering your opinions? Like no, just block them, right? But like personally, I've never blocked or deleted a comment, you know, on my channel.
That's hard.
Yeah,
Man.
and it's like, and sometimes I'm like, maybe I should, right? Because like other people read my comments, people who don't want to see that stuff, you know? Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should delete stuff. It's just because I just can't be bothered to go through it all.
There's that aspect too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That would definitely get a lot. Like that's the thing. I don't actively seek out reading my hate comments, you know? Like in the beginning I used to respond.
That's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to respond to every comment I got, even like if they were horrible. And I would engage with them, right? And I don't think that was making me necessarily angry. You know, it wasn't hitting me, but it was just like engaging with the negativity. I just don't like it wasn't worth it for me, and it wasn't making me happy, you know. So it's like nowadays I upload a video for the first like couple hours, I respond to comments. After that, I mainly just leave my comment section alone, and it sucks because there are people who really want to probably leave a nice comment, and I love getting a good comment and responding, but yeah, it's hard.
All right, so I did get a comment today that I thought was hilarious, and I thought I might share it with you guys. So, and you have to guess what this comment is based around. Gays it's gays and diversity were not accepted so openly in culture and times these stories are based on. Taking away the historical sentiment, the story isn't modern-day California, but if you want to insert inclusion, do it in a creative way. Have a side story, for example, about how a diverse character becomes a king's chosen knight after he was rescued in a shipwreck. Stop baiting the original fans with these remakes and calling them islamphobes when they don't like products. Fans are customers, and that equals money. Hopefully they realize sooner or later or before it's too late. Now, do you want to guess what show or movie he's talking about?
Well, I got confused because you said California.
Yeah, no, he says California here, yeah.
Oh.
You know, gays and diversity were not so accepted back during the times when this was based on.
Well, I must say nothing comes to mind about
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank here too.
But like is it something recent?
Yes, it's very recent.
I mean, okay, something with gays. Huh.
You know, and it's not accurate for the historical time it was based on.
Oh god. Oh, I'm fully blanking.
I can tell you guys if you want to give up or if you want to come up with something.
Like, is it?
I'm trying to think of any period pieces.
So it's like a historical, right? So it's not. It's not like Strange World or Willow.
Well, he says it's not accurate to the historical time it was based on.
Yeah,
is that based on or like
period piece?
Yeah, right.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah,
you're quizzing us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you. It's about Willow.
Tell it. That is okay.
So what
is that? Is that based on books?
Okay. Yeah.
It's based on a movie, 80s movie.
It's based off of a movie, an 80s movie.
Yeah, fantasy 80s movie. 100% fantasy. Has a dragon. Has
100. Yeah. Has a fucking dragon.
Has
yeah.
sorcerers.
Yeah. Literal work of fiction.
So like. I thought it would be further back, you know. I think like maybe like some 1930s or something, right?
Like, I was thinking that like the 60s or the 40s or something like that. Like
the 80s. What are you on about?
No, it's no. I had I don't like to reply to these guys anymore, but I had to reply to that one. I was like, please tell me the exact historical time period Willow takes place in.
And along with region of the globe.
Yeah.
Please tell me too.
That's the same. Like that comment reminded me so much of the comments I got on my Rings of Power video, when when I called like remember when like the posters came out?
Yeah.
With like the hands and stuff.
Yeah.
I made a video on that and like it did really well, but it was like a lot of these because I called a lot of people racist because there was a lot of racism going on.
Yes.
And there's a lot of these people being like, "Oh, why are you calling us racist for just wanting them to respect the time period?" You know, or like the Anglo-Saxon culture. I'm like, this Middle Earth, buddy. Like yeah, just because Tolkien wrote.
I'm not even a big
story.
Lord of the Rings fan, and shit, I knew that.
Yeah, like just because, like, you know, and I also don't get this whole like just because Tolkien wrote the story without that many people with dark skin, like, why does that matter?
Yeah.
You know, why does that mean that you can't make this change now? You know, and especially it's like oh, people are like, oh, but it goes against everything that it stood for. Oh, do you think Lord of the Rings stands for white people?
Yeah.
What?
The whole premise of Lord of the Rings is like different races coming together to fight common evil, you know, and they're like, oh no, but we can only have the one skin color
races.
Exactly, different races of white people. That's what we want.
Now, like, you know, the people come like, oh my god, it's not accurate to have a black hobbit, and it's like, it's not accurate to have a hobbit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the fuck are you talking about?
It's not realistic that you're making an elf black and a dwarf.
Yeah,
oh wait, like fantasy dwarf. That's what I mean.
Well, yeah, there's also a whole league of ghost pirates and a whole ghost pirate army. So there's a giant bird, if I'm not mistaken, like a giant falcon, right?
Listen, the
ghost,
eagle?
The
ghost like eagles.
Eagle, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I only believe the ghost pirate army if they're all white. If we have diversity in there, it's gonna destroy the illusion.
Just straight powdered wigs across the whole army. Yeah, no exceptions.
It has to be accurate to the time period, so I want to see them wearing full dresses.
I also love how they're all like, oh, there was some evil men who were like written as having dark skin. It's like, oh, okay, so the villains.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're all right with like the villains being the diverse people.
Yeah. There's that angle.
Yeah.
There's like all these arguments just did not happen. Like, and it was so simple. Like, even like there's so many people who just don't get it, right? Even people who are like, oh, I don't want them to change around too much, right? I don't care about like the races of the actors, you know? I just don't want them to like change around the lore. It's like, fine. You can say that without having to defend this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you don't have to defend the people I'm calling out. You know, it's like, they're those people, the same with, like, Reva in Kenobi. You know, the people being like, oh, are you calling me racist? Like, do you identify with what I'm calling racist?
Mm-hmm.
If yes, then yes. If no, then no. Don't take, like, you know, like, to me, it's very telling if Disney calls out like, oh, these few like racist people who harassed Moses Ingram. Yeah. Like we don't stand for that. That's racist. And then like it's very telling that some fans are like, how dare you call us racist, you know? It's like, okay. So
I didn't feel triggered
say
by
racist things.
Racist messages to her, so
yeah.
That's the difference. Maybe.
Yeah, how dare you send her racist messages? Like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like Reva wasn't my favorite character in the show, you know? Like, I don't think she's like a great character, but when I saw that message from Star Wars, I wasn't like, how dare you? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
You didn't go full Andrew Tate. How dare you?
How dare you? Well, cats.
There's a billion species in the Star Wars galaxy. Of all of them, don't be a racist. How dare you trigger me?
Like, that's such a cold statement, too.
That really is.
Yeah.
There's a million species, don't be a racist. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then so many people getting triggered is so funny.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you're really showing here. It's really cool.
Yeah.
What reason? Yeah, it's like, well, you'd only have one reason to be triggered by that statement.
There's one thing that you could be angry about with a statement.
Yeah, only one thing.
One thing.
And actually, it's something that, with a bit of work, can change.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't have to be this way, you know?
Well, Turf, anything you want to talk about your channel before we go into Strange World?
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry for keeping like.
Oh, no,
I don't know if you guys have like a tight schedule. Like,
No, well,
I bring it over to different things.
We do not have a. We're actually very good
okay.
at getting off topic too.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
We've
The
never
ADD
gone
is
off
strong with
topic.
us.
Oh god, my foot's killing me. Let's
Yeah.
travel for a half hour.
I'll go up to get a water, forget I'm doing it. He'll call me. I'll go like, "Why is my phone ringing in the closet?" Oh, that's right.
Oh, I'm on a podcast.
That's right.
Sometime I'll have the hooked up microphone, and then it's like Lethal Weapon, or not Lethal Weapon, but Naked Gun.
All right.
I have a hot mic.
So I guess we should talk about what I think it was Matt Walsh that called this Disney's gay movie.
This is the movie that made Chris Gore say his classic separate but equal line.
Yeah, they should.
I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't. And
Oh.
Chris Gore is somebody who actually I had been like watching his stuff from like that Film Theory before.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
God.
well, I had watched that Film Theory prior, and then he had come up, and every time I'd always see his, I would never really fully watch his. But I go, okay, I appreciate your take, but I strongly disagree with you. I appreciate your take. But everyone else on that channel is generally like they talk about aspects of screenwriting and stuff like that. And that's why I would watch it. Yeah.
He always comes with like in the middle of like people being like, oh, this is why this is good, this is why. He just comes like, this is why modern Hollywood sucks, or like. Yeah,
I've noticed his attitude change as of late with it.
Yeah,
and it's been like that's upsetting. I kind of enjoyed it when you talked about the fundamental of making film and like
exactly
the concept of that. I listened because okay, this is interesting stuff to me. But no, what did he have to say about this? He said it's their gay movie, or that was Matt Walsh who said that.
Although I mean, essentially,
well, he's a pederast. I don't listen to anything, and I'm not surprised he's commenting on current child movies.
Do you want to go into it, Turf, or shall I?
I can go into it. Well. So first of all, obviously, like the whole reason a lot of these people are angry about this movie is because there's some gay representation. So it's a gay teenager.
Yeah.
So despite what they may claim, there is nothing sexual in it.
There wasn't.
They all tend to claim that gay like someone being gay in a Disney movie means that there's like sex. You know?
I mean, there was that 20-minute long sex scene. It was a bit much. The details on the vein were very well done, though.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that, right? Like generally there was no, right? Like there's no sexual content text. It's a children's movie, right? It's just
like harmless flirting.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like having like a like having a little bit of like a crush, like
yeah. When I watched it, I was kind of like, oh, I'm sure that this pissed somebody off, and that was my only thought on it. Yeah,
yes, it did.
Well, I mean,
oh wow,
I kind of noticed they did that red herring with that scene too, where you see the truck pull up and there's the girl in the back looking at him, and it's kind of like, oh, they're gonna flirt, and then the boy pops up behind the girl, and then they're the ones that end up flirting. It's like, oh. There you go.
Wait for your audience for the loop there. Yeah, no, I noticed that too. I thought that was a nice touch and a nice way to straight introduce it and make it casual and normal like it is.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I don't know what like it is really just as simple as like it is really just as simple as that this is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with it. It's actually a good thing because it sends a good message, that like some people are into people of the same sex or gender,
That's fine.
Right? Like it's fine. Even like this is something children like. It's not just something that happens when you're an adult, Like attraction to people is something that happens from very young ages, And it's nothing sexual, Everyone has had crushes, It doesn't matter if you're a child or like a teenager or an adult, Like showing this representation is perfectly fine. It's a good thing. It shows kids around the world, hopefully, that it's okay. This isn't something that should be outlawed. That should be like as people like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and all these people think. So that's the whole context of Strange World. But then Chris Gore, and we found this video very funny on the Initiative stream. So he made a video where he's like talking about how this movie is gay, and recently Disney has been doing a lot of gay stuff. You know, there was a gay relationship in Wakanda Forever, and Willow is also about a gay person, right? And so he and
yeah,
I haven't seen it much to do with the plot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the
like,
biggest relationship in Willow is a gay relationship, but it hasn't played into the plot. Just two characters are in a relationship who are both women.
Yeah. And if it was in the plot, that would be fine too.
Yeah.
You know, like
how many times a heterosexual relationship is in the plot?
Absolutely,
How many times?
Exactly. But so he made the connection that Disney is becoming more gay, and this is something that a lot of parents don't want for their kids, right? A lot of people don't want to see this. He makes that. But don't worry, he makes it very clear in this video that it's okay, that there's nothing wrong with it. However, then he suggests that Disney should split their movie production into two. One for how they usually do it, and then one called, and I'm not making any of this up, called Disney Sparkle. And it's full gay. That's what he calls it, full gay. So he wants them to separate their content.
Disney Sparkle.
Disney Sparkle, where they go full gay and just all the gay themes, all the transgender themes, all that, and then they keep the other for normal for the people who don't want to see all that. But again, he reiterates many times in this video that there's nothing wrong with showing gay content.
And you know somebody's doing some bigoted stuff when they have to specify. Oh, there's nothing wrong with showing gay content. Yeah, you know, like they don't have to say that.
It's
actually
that's
a lot to unpack. That is a lot to unpack. Oh God!
I was not expecting it. I was not expecting like that because I also see him as like, okay, yeah, he's leaning a bit into this whole like, oh, modern Hollywood is getting destroyed and stuff, you know. But I didn't think that much, you know.
Yeah, it was.
Like that's deranged, you know. Like, and I love how it's like right in the beginning of that clip, it's like because he's on stream, right? But he's just like gone into like a separate thing where it's like co-host is out, and he's like, "Sorry, I just need to rant. I thought about this," and then he comes out with that. It's like, how did you come up with that? You know? And it's just, yeah. But I just find it funny anyone who's like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with gay content, but just keep it away from us."
So I've come up with a separate idea for Disney. Right. So what they need to do is branch off into two brands. One for their normal content, and then one for their heterosexual content.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and call it Disney Butch or something. I don't know.
I mean, if there's only one thing I would say that I wish Disney would do, it's, you know, nothing in the sense of their plot aspect or anything. It's more of just maybe some more hand-drawn animation.
Yeah, I do miss hand-drawn animation.
I appreciate the work that went into it in the final product, and that's about it.
I mean, I have my issues with John Lasseter because he's a problematic figure, obviously.
Oh,
but like years ago when he said, "Hey, Disney bought Pixar," so I always told them I think the best course of action would be, you know, have Pixar be your computer animated division, and have Disney be a hand-drawn division.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a great idea. Of course, Disney said no, but it's like, yeah, keep 2D animation alive. I mean, that being said, this movie does look beautiful. I mean, they do a great job.
It does. Not to discredit it or like all the animators that worked on this, because it did look amazing. Like I walked in completely blind to this, or I fired up my Disney Plus completely blind to what I was walking into.
Yeah,
after already watching 2 episodes of Willow, because that's what I thought we were covering.
Yeah, you slacker. I'm behind on Willow. I've only seen the first 4. I plan on binging it. I think I'll probably enjoy it more binging it.
Yeah, I think I kind of got that feeling too, because I didn't want to stop after the 4.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Strange World. Overall thoughts on the movie? I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining movie.
Yeah,
really good.
This is not one of the best Disney movies by any means, but
No,
it has its moments. I like the 3-generational aspect.
Yeah, I thought
but
that was pretty
obviously,
cool.
Yeah.
The entire, I guess, the world inside of the plant, inside of the mountain. I thought all that was cool. All the creatures involved with it looked really cool. I mean, a part of me did jokingly think, man, this would be great if this was a Cronenberg movie.
Oh God,
all this would
kind
just
of
nightmare
amazing.
fuel.
Oh my God, that'd be completely different. I'd be down for it.
Yeah, I was surprised to find out some of the voice cast in this.
Oh yeah, and I mean we got Jake
listening
Gyllenhaal
to
and
it.
Dennis Quaid.
I went through the first probably 30 minutes of this movie thinking it was Paul Rudd until I was like, oh, that's Jake Gyllenhaal.
I picked up Jake Gyllenhaal. I did not pick up Dennis Quaid until the end credits. I was like, oh, he was definitely
I
put on
had
a
to
voice
look
for that one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, by that one I looked because I was just like, who is that? Like,
It was familiar, but wasn't like clicking. It was.
I thought it was Kurt Russell at first.
Yeah.
Doing a voice.
I could see that. Yeah.
But no, it was Dennis Quaid, who I have mistaken both of them before.
But there was one aspect I thought was funny. So, the grandpa, the story is about a son and his father, and the father's an adventurer. He always takes his son with him. You can see the son doesn't want to go on all these adventures. It's not really his way. And eventually the son says, no, I want to stay here and like research this plant I just found. I want to figure this thing out. And the father says, okay, and leaves the son. And we jump to like 25 years later. And the son's grown up with his own family. He's researched that plant and he's made a tidy fortune. And his son wants to go out exploring again. And, the plant is dying, appears to be dying, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with that. And through these adventures, they come across the grandfather again. And one interesting aspect I was semi-expecting him to do was the father, grandfather, Dennis Quaid. He talks to the grandson, and he's trying to figure out, hey, is there a special girl in your life? And you see the son essentially say, well, there is this one guy I'm into. And the grandfather, not missing a beat, is just like, oh, I'll give you some tips on how to impress a fella. And it was something I thought was interesting. Like, I was semi-expecting him to go for an angle where it's just like, oh my God, no grandson of mine would be gay. What? But they didn't even touch on that.
Yeah, no.
They glossed over it.
Yeah.
They just make it seem normal.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
No. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, everybody was triggered over this movie just because, one of the characters is gay, even though it's not a huge part of the story.
Yeah, seriously.
It just happens to be gay. And I was thinking, like, if the grandfather was triggered by it, and they had that be part of the story that he has to accept him, I'm sure they would have exploded and say, "Oh, we're just upset because they're showing us they're showing us to be bigots, and that's not nice." But because they didn't do that, they just had to complain about it by being bigots.
Yeah.
I just thought that was an interesting aspect of it. But yeah, no, these people are special. This is a nice movie. This, like I said, it's not one of the best Disney movies. I kind of like the animation is beautiful. Like going into this, the strange world I thought was interesting because the main world we're introduced to is not our world. There's these mountains that people can't cross. Nobody knows what's on the other side of them. They have all these, it's obviously not our world. Vehicles are different. There's lots of hovercrafts and stuff like that, but it's not like futuristic hovercrafts. It's almost like old school hovercrafts.
Yeah.
And and then we go to a strange world and it's like, oh, place where things are even weirder. Okay. And of course it's about like the 3 generations coming together. Everybody has their own angles and they all have to work together. Your usual Disney animated stuff.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. It didn't blow my mind or anything. I like how everybody likes to talk about how it's a box office bomb. And I'm not going to lie, it came to Disney
Oh, you
Plus.
mean like Avatar 2?
Yeah, well, Well, this one actually didn't do great in the box office. But one thing I noticed is it came to Disney Plus after like 3 weeks. Like, it did not have a theater run almost at all. And what I actually suspect is that, they made this for Disney Plus is what I suspect.
Yeah, I think so. It had that feel.
And then, it looks great for Disney Plus. But yeah, they made it for Disney Plus. And then they're like, oh, there's actually no big movies coming out for Thanksgiving. And, maybe kids will want to see it. So we'll just release it for Thanksgiving. Whatever we think. Cool. It's like a bonus. I suspect that's all that happened with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think outside that, I don't have a whole lot to add about this movie. You guys have any thoughts on it? Past that?
Well, not really.
Yeah.
It is good, and it's good to have gay representation simply treated as normal. I appreciate
that was a very nice touch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sad that there's some people who can't accept that.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, and I'm sorry when they blow up over stuff like this. It's like, yeah, you're really going mask off here.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with this. But are we ready for Knives Out?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Talk about it.
Yeah, Knives Out. All right.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
So
I kind of regretted not seeing it earlier, and like when I did, because I watched this for the first time, and then I watched Glass Onion immediately after it.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of a great like Agatha. Well, this is Rian Johnson doing his Agatha Christie style Hercule Poirot movies. Which is awesome. I'll admit,
I think so far like this too. He's done well.
Yes. Well,
overall, yeah.
I'll admit, with Knives Out, when I saw it in the theater years ago, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like in love with it. And then I watched it like a week ago, just for the podcast. I was like, oh, I'll get this out of the way and I'll watch it. And I kind of loved it. So I watched it again before the podcast. Because I enjoyed it so much.
Nice.
This is awesome. No, I love this mystery. I love how, obviously full spoilers. Everybody, full spoilers. I mean,
yeah.
The whole mystery, it's like you see how he dies and they pretty much, it's like they give you all the pieces, but just like the detective says, there's a hole missing. And I love that aspect of it. Cause like, it feels like the whole story. It feels like, oh, Marta fucked up and this is her trying to cover up. And you like the character of Marta, so you want her to, get away and do all right. But there's so much more to it, and I absolutely dig it. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's just a well done who did it, story. It's overall, I also just really like Rian Johnson as a director and a writer, and I think he makes really good movies.
Absolutely.
And it's been a while since I've seen it, but I just I remember loving it a lot. The both times I've seen it, it's very good at setting up like the mystery, and a lot of like the big things, the big reveals, it's like you go back and you're like, it's like I didn't realize that, or I did actually see that. I thought there was like something there, but I didn't think much of it, And I like that.
Yeah, there's lots of planting seeds, and then like the first time you watch it, you're not necessarily gonna figure out all the seeds that are planted. Then you rewatch it, it's like, wait a minute. Like there's that scene where like it's supposed to be the father's 85th birthday, and then you get like Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, is telling the story, and it's like her and her husband next to him when the cake's going down. And then you get Michael Shannon telling the story, and all of a sudden it's him and his wife next to the father when the cake's going down. It's like, everybody's telling a slightly different story, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's the aspect of, they talk about how Marta was supposed to be invited to the funeral, but they were outvoted. And somehow almost every single member of the family seems to tell her that. It's like, we all wanted you to be there, but we were outvoted. It's like, right.
No, every member of the family was great at playing a despicable person.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yeah, just kind of.
And I didn't know Don Johnson was in this, and to me that was like a very pleasant surprise because I think he's good at just playing a scumbag.
Was he a scumbag here? I didn't notice.
Yes. I mean, he quite wasn't as much of a scumbag as he was in Django, but I mean, you know.
Oh shit! I forgot he was in Django.
He was
a piece of shit there.
And he was good.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
But no, like I really enjoyed this like a lot more than I thought I was going to. Like I was very pleasantly surprised with like Turf had said, it's a very good whodunit. It really is, and I appreciate those like kind of murder mystery crime movies. And yeah, this was well played out, just well written, and just execution. All of it was done perfectly.
Yeah,
and the character of the detective, who Daniel Craig played, he was just phenomenal. That accent just had me laughing so hard at some points throughout the movie. Like it was just so perfect. Even like the way he was saying things sounded like, from what I know, I have a lot of friends who are from the southern United States, and I hear things like that from them. So it's just like little things like that I really appreciated.
And I have to give Daniel Craig credit, because it's when you're watching him in this role, it's tough to remember that he's James Bond. Like he is in this role. I ran into that a little bit more in the second one. Oh, really?
Onion,
like I don't think I really encountered that at all. Like it's like somehow this is James
just
Bond,
him
but I
walking
forget
off
it's James Bond.
I had an easy time forgetting it, but it's like that's right. I'm not watching a James Bond movie, though. This scenery looks like it would be a James Bond movie, but this is not a James Bond movie.
Yeah, no, not
the second one with the big like private island.
Yeah.
It's very. Yeah,
that is some hardcore Bond villain energy.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get into that one, but that is definitely some Bond villain energy there.
It is.
But
one thing I love about both this movie and the next one is the cast. It's really well like there's a lot of good people, and they all work together really well, and the characters are just written really. It's fun, There's a lot of variety.
Yeah, no, there's just like all types of scumbags all over the place in these movies. And it's an all-star cast. I mean, it's very much like what Kenneth Branagh is doing with actual Agatha Christie stories now, with his Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. It's like get an all-star cast and just do one of these murder mysteries, except
like a big ensemble thing.
Yeah, yeah, and I thoroughly enjoy this. Like I said, there's details you pick up on every time you watch this. Like one of the details I picked up on before, like there's the family doing the political discussion where they're all in the argument.
Yeah.
And you know what I realized? It's only the in-laws that are arguing. None of the actual like blood relatives are actually debating this.
Yeah.
And I was
people
like,
who married into the family.
Yeah. It was just like I didn't pick up on that before.
I caught that the first time. I was like, oh, it looks like Jamie's husband and his wife are fighting.
Yep.
Interesting.
But yeah, I love the cast of these movies. I love the actual mystery. I love like you're rooting for Marta the whole time because it's like, oh god, this looks really bad for her, and she's definitely kind of involved.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh shit, it's way more layered than that.
Yeah.
Almost like an onion. Wait, wrong movie.
Almost like an onion. Yeah. That would have been a good segue.
So let's talk about Strange World again.
Yes.
Oh shit! I messed it up.
We're on slide.
But yeah, Knives Out. Like I said, like in 2019, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't thrilled with it. Going into it as a huge Rian Johnson fan, I was a little bit disappointed. But like for me, the rewatch was just gold. I just damn good.
I do want to talk really quickly about Chris Evans' performance in this.
Oh yeah.
Since for the longest time, I think like when this came out, he had just pretty much done like maybe a movie or a bit part in something here and there, but mostly he had been playing Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So watching this, him kind of being like out of what we're used to seeing him as, was really a nice treat. But I mean, I'm also a fan of Chris Evans, so I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, no,
like, he was great. He was the Russo brothers movie that he did with
what, Gray Man?
Gosling recently. Yeah. I thought he was great in that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
that's.
I was just gonna say I forgot about, like, I brought up how Daniel Craig kind of disappears and you forget he's James Bond, but like watching this, I'm forgetting that he's Captain America.
Yeah. He's just some spoiled prick named Ransom.
He plays an asshole very good.
Yeah,
very well, because it's also like he's just such a nice dude, like if you watch interviews of him, you watch his movies, like it's even when he's playing like a bit of like a serious character, it's hard to like not like see his just like kind of like teddy bear personality, but like it's really good in this one. He fully sold me.
Yeah, he is such a piece of shit here. But yeah, this is excellent. Are we ready for Glass Onion?
Let's do it.
Glass Onion. All right, the new Knives Out mystery. And to my understanding, Rian Johnson actually didn't want it to say a Knives Out mystery in the title. He just wanted it to be called Glass Onion. I get what he's saying, but yeah, I also get maybe wanting to link them together so people know that it's connected. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a studio thing, It's like more people will be like, oh, okay, it's a sequel to Knives Out, rather than just Glass Onion, because then you have to sell it again, I guess.
I recall I've even heard it as advertised as a Knives Out sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like the whole like a Knives Out sequel or like a Knives Out story. I'm just like, that just because like Knives Out was like that mystery,
Yeah,
this is Glass Onion, Like if it was like a Benoit Blanc story, but then again, people wouldn't. Not everyone would put that together.
Yeah, I was like, that won't be as known, but yeah, if I were him, I'd maybe fight for that, compromise a Benoit Blanc mystery or something like that, because that's really what it is. It's Benoit Blanc coming back for a mystery. That's it. Like, I don't even think they reference the original movie. They bring up crimes they solved, but they don't like bring up that one.
They don't bring up that one. They just say, you're the guy who, that's me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like, he could be talking about any other crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I guess since it's like, its release, it was a little bit in the theaters, but it was like mostly like a Netflix original, and it's like, they probably really wanted to like nail down, like get as many people as possible, be like, okay, this is the sequel to Knives Out, to maximize profit. And of course it's not like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter,
No.
I really like the movie.
Yeah, I thought this. I think I probably, maybe upon repeat watching, I will change my mind, kind of like Knives Out. But I think right now I don't like this quite as much. It's a little bit more comedic. Although some of the comedy works quite well towards the themes, and then some of it just kind of like, eh. But
yeah,
still,
the tone
overall,
is definitely
like
way different.
A lot.
Yeah, the tone is way different. I like that. It feels really fresh.
And I know Ben Shapiro was triggered by this, so good on this movie.
Yeah,
it
dumps on a big like white rich guy.
Okay, so is that why he's pissed at it?
I don't, but like the whole,
I've heard that the Edward Norton character is not really a parody of Elon, but more of a parody of the world that created him. And that was a quote.
I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much thought he was Elon Musk here.
He totally is. He totally is.
It was just like the perfect time for it to come out, because it was right in the middle of this whole Elon Twitter thing,
Yeah.
And like more people are starting to realize like these are the same arguments that like I've seen like political commentators make about Elon, where it's like he didn't create the things, people say he's created. You know, he bought things, and people have made things for him that have gotten him this wealthy and this popular. You know, it's like that is Elon. You know, and it's starting to come. People are starting to realize that now that he bought Twitter and doesn't know what the fuck to do with it. You know,
No.
it's like oh, okay, yeah, you didn't create electric cars. You didn't send people to space. You bought companies and you paid for people to do this, right? That doesn't mean like he's incompetent. You know, like he. That doesn't mean that he didn't. Probably, right? But like it like just because like you buy a company and you don't necessarily do the things that the company does, right? That doesn't mean like that you haven't still bought the company, that isn't still your company, you know, and that you had a role to play. But it's just like yeah, people, and he doesn't like say otherwise, you know, people get the illusion that he makes these things, you know, that he's the engineer, that he's the mastermind, but no.
I mean,
no, he's not.
We remember he invented the electric car that already existed,
and he built it.
Yes, that
yeah, and he also designed them to crash into buildings and you know, cars with hazard lights on.
Have the most dangerous auto drive system one could imagine.
Actually, one of an owner of a Tesla actually had crashed into a convention center in my home city.
Oh God!
Like I think it was last summer. Yeah, it came like the Columbus Convention Center, Bob. Came right around and like crashed right into like a entry and exit point of it, like one of the busier ones off of main High Street.
Oh,
yeah. I'll be blunt. I actually do think auto driving is the future. I think, you know, once we get this technology down and all figured out, it's gonna take over. But Elon's not helping anything with what he's doing. This auto drive he's doing on his Tesla is a fucking mess. It is completely unreliable. I just stop it. Work it out in the lab before you put this on the road. What are you doing? People are dying. Stop it.
Yeah, like no.
Like I'm like, it's probably just because he's rich, but I don't even know like why they didn't make it illegal. Just like, dude, you can't put it in the car until it's ready to go. Just stop putting this in the car. No.
He also just lies a lot, you know? And I feel bad for his engineers because it must suck, you know? Like see him go on screen and be like, this car will be able to turn into a boat. And they're like, oh, God damn, we have to do this now. You know, like
such an idiot.
Yeah, like, God damn, we told you we can't do this. And
it's like, did he just fucking say that?
Yeah. But I really hope that everything blows up for Elon the way that this did for Edward Norton.
No. Yeah, I do too.
Nice way to bring it back. Yeah, so yeah, Edward Norton is Elon Musk in this, and he's a billionaire. He's got his whole Bond fortress, which is a glass onion. And we see throughout, like we get these little examples how like everybody treats him like he's super smart. He seems to think he's super smart, and he's such a fucking moron. I think.
And then the detective showed up. Well, you see, I got this puzzle with these really elementary puzzles to solve, and I solved them anyways. And it popped out this invitation. He's like, "You solved all of them?" He looked really tripping. He's like, "No, that's easy."
Yeah.
No, I love how he invites all his friends. It's like, we're going to do this murder mystery. And then it gets to the moment of the murder mystery, and Blanc's just like, do we get like an iPad or something? It's like, oh, fine, sure, you get an iPad. Okay, here's the mystery. And he solves the whole mystery before any of the theatrics have even happened. It's like, this is everything that's happening. This was easy.
And I love how it sets, like, because even though, like, thinking about it, like, the whole, it wasn't as complex as we thought it would be, right? Can be seen as like some kind of cliche, you know, it's like, oh, that might be cheap, right? But I feel like he set it up well by doing that whole, oh, this is so easy in the beginning, right? Because after he solved the mystery like that, right? It was like, then it's like, okay, but the real mystery is going to come, right? Like the real murder mystery, and that's going to be a lot more complex, right? And that's what we think until like he realized, he's like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
He's just a dumbass, you know? And I feel like it was just executed really well.
Yeah.
And I really liked it, you know? I thought it was really, really good.
No, well, I mean, that's actually part of the mystery, because Blanc is like, it takes him a little bit to figure out exactly what's going on. Then it's like, it all came together when I just realized you're idiot. Like, I'm trying to think of complex reasons. I realize you're just fucking retarded, right? I shouldn't say.
Yeah,
that.
and it's the same with... And it's the same with Elon, right? Like you can spend so much time being like, why does he do the things he do? Like, what's the plot? What's his plan? What's the message? You know, so much simpler when you just realize he's a fucking idiot. You know?
Yeah, he's outright idiot. Like my favorite moment that really kind of defines him as an idiot is where Blanc looks over and he sees the car on the roof. He's like, you know, and he's like, so why do you have the car there? Oh, it's my favorite car, but why is it on the roof?
It goes everywhere with me.
Because I can't drive it on the island, and it's like, then why did you bring it? What are you doing?
True, yeah.
You put a car on your roof for what?
Yeah, that I'm happy they set that up early, and for the payoff later in the movie.
Well, I mean, there's also the random word thing, where like there's so many times where he says a word, and it's like, what? That doesn't sound right at all. You know, at first you're like, okay, I'll just roll with it. And then, like, he kept on doing it. It's like, that really doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I was personally like, I heard him say the word, and I was like, that's a word I don't know. It's probably just because Rian Johnson knows more about words than I do, you know? It's like, and this, and like, as the whole mystery was just falling apart, it was like, it was just because there's another one of those, like, he set it up really well. There's a lot of things where you look back, you're like, yeah, what the fuck was that, you know?
Yeah.
Like that made no sense, of course. But,
yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, when they did the series of clips, I was like, yeah, he did say that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it already has a spoiler warning, but, you know, spoiler. The murderer is Edward Norton. And he is an idiot, and that's just part of the mystery. Yeah. It's like he thinks he's this genius who will have this all figured out, all masterminded, and he has no idea. He has no idea. The in his own words, the pre-definite idiot.
Yeah. I really like the cast and the characters in this one too.
Yeah.
I thought they were all really charismatic.
No, I thought it worked. Like, one thing that, like, you're obviously watching this movie, and you know that, you know, we gotta get to the fake mystery, and then once we get past the fake mystery, we'll eventually get to a real mystery. And it takes a while to get to that point, but you're pretty well engaged until then. But what I kind of like, and I know a lot of people have complained about the flashbacks in this, and I'll give you that. There's lots of flashbacks, but I like how we get to a big flashback point, and it reveals the actual mystery actually happened a while ago. We've been on the case this whole time. I'm like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that twist to it. It was right then. I was like, holy crap, this is an amazing story.
Yeah.
Like, this is great.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the whole, like, when, like, it turned into the flashback and we saw everything from another perspective, you know? Like, it gave me, like Prisoner of Azkaban vibes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I just think, like, the climax was just amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was... Yeah, this one definitely went bigger than the last one, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Much bigger. You know, and I wasn't expecting a full-on, like, the island exploding.
Yeah.
Not, like, everything, you know, but, like... Yeah, that was...
Yeah, I didn't have that on my bingo card, no.
Yeah.
No.
No, I also didn't have Andrew Tate on my bingo card either, so, you know.
Andrew Tate getting owned by Greta Thunberg. Yep, that wasn't on my bingo card.
Nope.
No.
But boy, it was glorious.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for because he's making a trilogy, right? Like, he's making another one.
Well, I don't know. This definitely seems like something, like, I don't know if he wants to do these a lot, but, like, it is one of those things where it's like, however many of these he wants to do, I'm game.
Like, he could make as many as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, because I think earlier last year he said in an interview when he was asked about, like, his Star Wars sequel, he was like, well, I still have to make the sequel to Glass Onion. Like he like mentioned that he's making another one after this, and so it's like I first need to make that, and then after that we'll see, you know.
Okay.
So like I'm pretty sure if we go by what he said that he's making another one now, like after this.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I don't have high hopes for another Star Wars movie from him, but I would be game.
I would be so game for that.
Yeah.
I would be too, because I also enjoyed Last Jedi. I thought it was a choice. They did something different, and I think it paid out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I just want like different things again.
Yeah.
Like I actually enjoyed seeing different worlds and the actual social aspect to Star Wars. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. I feel like people like they're offended by Force Awakens because it was too safe. So Last Jedi actually did some risk, but did it in a smart way. But they're like, "Oh no, this is too different." And it's like, you can't be pissed at both. Just pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah. I'm also just like I kind of just want another Star Wars movie. Like I
do, yeah.
I love going to the cinema to watch a Star Wars movie. You know?
I know.
And we haven't had one in a long time.
Yeah, since Rise of Skywalker, which was not the best one, but that's a story for another.
And I know it's privileged compared to like people who waited like 20 years and stuff between different, you know, but it's like I'm just excited for another one, and I hope it's, you know, like there's also like where talks about Taika Waititi having one, you know, it's like I want directors who have like originality, you know, like ones where it's like, oh, they have a style, you know. I want to see their takes on Star Wars. You know, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I want to see somebody who has an original idea. Like, I feel like Taika Waititi, like the internet turned on him pretty harshly, but I remember they jumped on him over the Star Wars thing because I guess he asked Natalie Portman if she wanted to be in a Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah,
and it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, I could see myself brain farting, just be like, hey Natalie, I like working with you. You want to do a Star Wars movie with me? Oh shit, yeah, you did that.
Yeah,
just kind of, you know, like I felt like when they shared that story, it was just kind of like, yeah, it was a joke. I brain farted, and everybody like got triggered by it. It was like,
yeah, it's like because there's just a big difference between like a character you saw in movies like 20 years ago, and then you actually working with the person.
Yeah,
you know, like those two are way different things. You know, it's like yes, we sit back here, we associate Natalie Portman with Padme when we talk about Star Wars, right? But like if you're a director and like you know this person now, right? Like they're a friend. You might not just make that connection because you aren't, because you know this person. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's I feel like people are easily triggered by anything. They yell at people.
Yep. Snowflakes.
We should do YouTube content on that.
Yeah, maybe. I think there might be a. I don't know if there's anyone who's doing it.
Well, anything you guys want to add about Glass Onion, other than the fact that it was freaking awesome?
No, I just really
all the performances in it were great. Like we mentioned with the last one, like this cast was phenomenal, like top to bottom. Like everyone was great. I did read that I believe it was Ryan Johansson said that he felt that, or not Johansson, sorry, that's a hockey player. Johnson. Yeah, he had said that Dave Bautista was his favorite pro wrestler turned actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys agree?
No, that's Thor Johnson.
Oh?
Thor Johnson. Yeah, he's an older wrestler. He was in Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Okay. Sure. I think Dave Bautista's...
I'm kidding.
He's
good.
Dave Bautista's gotten really good.
Yeah.
Cena's not bad.
Yeah, Cena's gotten some moments. I think one that lots of people overlook because he only really had one highlight role, but he did a damn good job, would be Rowdy Piper. He was good in They Live. But
he was also good in
noteworthy role. No.
Well, he was also in another one, something Frogtown.
Yeah. But I guess a lot of people usually put like the three big like modern ones, like you know, like The Rock.
Yeah, obviously
Hogan,
Rock.
Yeah, Rock, Cena, and Batista. In my opinion, Rock is like at the bottom. I don't think he's very like special as an actor. Yeah, you know, I
you see, I might have put Cena at the bottom until Peacemaker.
Until Peacemaker, yes.
Peacemaker kind of turned me around on Cena.
Yeah, like he can actually have a serious role. You know,
yeah.
I feel like The Rock just plays himself in every role.
More or less, yeah. And I enjoy. I don't want to. I want to stress it. I enjoy The Rock in almost all his performances. I think.
I mean, I like watching him.
But yeah,
but I also like watching The Rock. You know, I
Yeah.
think he's an entertaining person.
Almost
you know,
all
and
his characters do feel like The Rock.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The other movie he was in, it was a sci-fi apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic, like a fantasy movie. Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Okay.
Huh.
The-
Nice.
But yeah, I would definitely say Dave Bautista has maybe gotten a bit more variety of roles, and he's
been the most consistent.
Well, that's the interesting thing about him. I've always thought, because like if you've ever seen like his stuff pre Guardians of the Galaxy, he wasn't very good, and then when he got the Guardians role, he was really excited. He was like, "Oh God, I need to do a good job." So he got some acting classes, and I don't know where he got those classes from because he's like turned it around. Like it was worth every penny.
Yeah.
You've done such a good job since then, just nailing it.
Yeah.
I have not seen him do a bad
complete
performance since
180.
then. Yeah,
No, exactly. Yeah.
And
I feel like for me, Dave Bautista's definitely at the top.
Yeah.
He's just like he's been at a good level and been consistent for longer than John Cena. You know, like John Cena as Peacemaker. I'm excited to see what he does from now on. You know, The Rock is like you know, The Rock is clear. Like he's I don't know if he's still, but like you know, he's one of the highest paid actors of all time. You know, like he doesn't need to. I guess for him be artistic.
Yeah.
You know, like do something noteworthy. You know. I feel like
I always felt like The Rock always, and I don't know if it's his range or just where he's been kind of caught in, but like he always seems to have like a comedy edge to his roles, and he does a good job with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really seen him do a lot of drama. I'm trying to think of him doing a purely dramatic role really at all.
He had some dramatic parts in like some of those early action movies that he did, but they were just like as any serious part or dramatic part would be, not pertaining to an action movie.
It's like the typical emotional conflict in like the third act.
Like I would definitely say it was nothing as good as like what Cena did in Peacemaker.
No,
nothing like that.
Yeah, because Cena and Peacemaker was just like, holy shit, where's this guy been?
Yeah.
But I like of the modern ones, definitely Batista, and he's not wrong. If he's not the best, he's one of the best. I would definitely say.
Yeah, I mean, out of those three, I'd definitely put him on the top. You know, it's just he has more in his back. You know, I think Drax is like a really good performance overall. You know, it's like one of my favorite moments in like any MCU movie is like from the second Guardians movie.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene where he sits? Like he's sitting with Mantis, and like Mantis, like, because you know she can feel emotions, and she like feels his motions, and like she like starts like fully like breaking down or something, you know. And he's just sitting there with like this like empty kind of smile. Like I'm like he because he's very goofy as Drax, you know. But he also like and that's like he portrays this like deep like anguish quite well. You know, I don't think it's like it's not like a groundbreaking performance. You know, I'm just like it's good. He's really good at Drax, and then he was good in like the beginning of Blade Runner. He was in Spectre, where he was kind of just like an action person, but like he did it convincingly.
I wanted to bring up Spectre because Spectre is a very flawed movie, super flawed movie. But one of the highlights is Drax. Batista as the villain.
Batista.
Oh, Drax
Batista.
Drax Batista. No, whenever he pops up, because he's just like this heavy that goes after Bond. But whenever he pops up, it's like the tension is raised in that scene. Like you really feel it. Like he feels like a serious threat. And you know, whenever they get into the fights, it feels like this is a serious moment in the movie. And heck, maybe even an argument can be made when he got killed off, like in Act 2. You know, the movie was a bit more boring after that.
Oh. Looks like my battery died.
Oh darn.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But I
Yeah.
would say it's a good argument. I guess anything we want to add? I think we're pretty close to wrapping up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. No, yeah, I just like the movie, and I'm excited to see what Ryan Johnson does next. If it's another one of these, if it's Star Wars, if it's something else completely,
I have an unpopular opinion towards most of it. I'd be a little curious as to see what's going to happen if Dave and or DB, the Game of Thrones guys. I know that they were going to have one, but it got canceled after all the backlash from the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But I would still be interested to see it because of, I mean, when they were doing the writing, I'd say that first season after where the books stopped, I kind of liked the world that they were building off of that. And I would have liked to see what they would do with a Star Wars property.
Well, I do feel like Disney has an issue right now, and maybe they should seriously look at this, because I feel like every time like they get like a filmmaker, maybe even the filmmaker has a good idea for a Star Wars movie, then they get any backlash, and it feels like they back down. And it's like all the Star Wars stuff is going to get backlash. You just need to let it go and just go with what you think will be the best move. Yeah.
Get something done.
There we are.
Because you're right. Yeah. I actually would like to go back to the movie theater and watch a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Because that's the thing that also need to remember. They're not going to get one of those directors that are like universally loved.
Well, that's
the
thing. No Star Wars thing will be universally loved anymore. They have to accept it.
Yeah. But like even before, like they won't like a Scorsese will never go on with a Star Wars movie. Like you're not going to get one of these like one of like the big kind of like directors who haven't been like affected by the whole culture war yet. It's like no matter who you go, if you go with Ryan Johnson, if you go with what's his name, or like D&D,
Ryan Johnson,
Taika Waititi, all these people, right?
Benoff, something like that.
Yeah. Like at least I want to see one of them rather than like a more just like typical director. I don't know how that sounds. Like I don't want to see a director who just usually gets put on like a big. Like I want to see someone with some kind of like vision,
Yeah, exactly.
If it turns out to be bad, fine, I just want them to try something.
Yeah, I'm kind of game, like we're getting lots of Star Wars, so I'm kind of game for a wild swing. Like I feel like Last Jedi, and I want to stress, Last Jedi wasn't even that wild of a swing, but it was probably the closest you could do a wild swing. I guess Andor maybe a little, but yeah, they have not done particularly wild swings with Star Wars, but
no. The thing about Andor even is like it's really good.
Yeah.
But it's still familiar. It's like it does what we know like almost perfectly,
Yeah.
Because I want to get something different, Go out there, dude. Make some Taika Waititi could make something fun,
Yeah.
Could make a really cool stuff. Ryan Johnson could make something really fun if he can make the story, because he likes setting things up. He likes going his own direction, and that didn't work as the middle part of a trilogy in many ways. It could have worked, but it didn't in this case. It's like I want to see him doing his own thing. D&D, right? They made what like personally my favorite show of all time, and even though like the last couple of seasons aren't the greatest, I still think they're decent seasons of fantasy television.
It's like still decent stories being told.
No, it's
compared.
Last season sucked, but you know what? There's lots of fucking great seasons in Game of Thrones. It's absolute classics.
God, yes.
And even like I'd even say like the last season of Game of Thrones compared to like some other like fantasy shows, like it could still keep up.
Yeah.
It's just like, and of course, being the final season of such a good show brings it down a lot, right? Like that's natural, right? It doesn't, but it's like I don't think, and I also think like they probably got bored. Like that's what it seems like.
Yeah,
like,
it did. Really
like George R. R. Martin
like
wanted more seasons.
Yeah.
They just kind of streamlined it. I want to see what they can do with something new, something that they're passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that'd be cool because they've shown that they can make good fucking storytelling.
Yeah, they can. They absolutely can.
Like those first 4 seasons, in my opinion, like I like what comes after, but like the first 4 seasons, in my opinion, are like perfect, And it's like, and that's not all George R. R. Martin, right? No. A lot of it is. A lot of the writing is, right? But it's not all him. They adapted the story perfectly. They did it really well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they did a really
Yeah.
good job. And
I think they deserve another chance, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I do like we've seen this throughout the Disney's run with Star Wars, and it's a little frustrating. Like I think the first time we really saw it was with Solo, where they had Lord and Miller. They were writing and directing. Well, I don't know how much they were writing, but they were definitely directing it. And like I Lawrence Kasdan, as much as I love him as a screenwriter, like he watched their version and he was just like, this cannot work. Disney can't do this. And I really want to know what their version was. Because those are guys who they take terrible ideas and make gold out of them. I mean, Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street, freaking Spider-Verse. These are not things that I thought I would enjoy, and I love them.
No. Yeah, I definitely think, because even like I like Solo. I think it's
Solo.
Like it's
fine.
Honestly, for me, it's up there in like Star Wars movies. Like it like I like it decently. You know, it's like it's a fun movie that I like. I like the characters. I like the whole vibe of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I still would have. It still feels very
it's safe,
tamed.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Like I like it, but it just feels like it's being held back.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah, I think Star Wars could really deal with, or like like use some different, something new, some refreshing.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if that'll happen with Disney. You know, they are probably the big company in movies. You know, and
they are.
And will they?
Despite what
and
these
Star
guys
Wars,
say, a very conservative company.
Yes, and they are very. And Star Wars is one of their big boys. You know, it's one of the biggest franchises ever, and. Yeah, I don't know how out of the box they're gonna go, but sometimes they surprise us, you know.
Yeah. Like I said,
so
I was happy with what they did with Last Jedi, and I would have been happier. It probably would have been better if Rian Johnson just did Episode 9, but what do I know?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. I don't know why they didn't like The Last Jedi is one of the highest grossing movies of all time. I don't know why they like lean so hard on like the negativity of it.
Yeah.
Like that movie made them money.
Yeah.
Like $1.5 billion, you know? Rise of Skywalker also made a lot of money, you know?
Not as
like
much.
That wasn't like not as much, obviously, right? But it's like, but it still made a lot of money, you know? I'm just like because that's obviously what they care about, right? But it's like you will make money off of Star Wars if you make another movie like in 2025 or something, right? Like people will watch it, right? Try to go for something like it's not gonna flop. You know it's not gonna flop. But
yeah. Star Wars it's gonna make money. You're gonna have the people who are actually wanting to watch it, and the people who are wanting to hate it are probably going to watch it too, just to watch it, because they seem to do that a lot. But yeah, whether or not Rian Johnson does just a whole bunch of Benoit Blanc movies for the rest of his career, or he does some Star Wars in there, or he throws some curveballs at me, I'll be blunt, I don't care. I like everything of his I've seen so far, so kind of whatever he wants to do, I'll be there.
Honestly, a franchise like this is like perfect to have in your repertoire, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you have like a period of 5 years where you just don't know what you're doing, you know, like the different like companies are coming to you, but it's just not working out. Always bang out one of these, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And
bang out another Knives Out.
Rights to this, yeah.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. But yeah,
maybe the next one should be directed by J.J. Abrams.
Oh God. The Rise of Benoit Blanc. It's Benoit
just
Skywalker.
the most streamlined. Like who done it? It just goes straight to it. So it's like the murder happens. Who did it? I did. And it's like a fight, you know?
Yeah. It's just a big
it's like there's like Yeah, like a training arc and stuff to beat them.
Yeah. Learning to beat detectives.
I also did love his disdain for the game Clue too. I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was awesome.
His
Well, I mean,
hatred for the
essentially,
game Clue.
well, the sister Helen Brand, she was kind of turning it into a Clue game, and yeah, he was not thrilled with that. But
he's like, no.
But that's also so fun, like, you know, like how also with in the beginning, like he's playing Among Us, he doesn't understand these like simple, you know, he wants things to be complex, you know, like real. There needs to be the nuance.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't figure this out. This was like an Among Us game, you know? This was a game of Clue. He just, you know, it's like he thought
God, I didn't even think about the foreshadowing there.
Yeah.
This is just a dumb mystery, and like he's trying to figure out how complex it is, and he's like, wait, this is dumb.
Exactly. This is just you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
It's just I hadn't thought about that, but
I
set it up right from the beginning.
But yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah. So Turf, you have anything coming up on your channel?
No, I'm deleting it. No. I'm thinking January is gonna be I'm gonna start getting on a grind. Maybe we'll see how the year progresses. You know. I probably have a video coming up on Avatar on Wednesday, maybe, and then a Chris Gore video. I just want to make one on my own channel coming up soon too, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Is there anything else you want to promote, or just your channel?
Subscribe to Organized Chaos and
that's a good channel.
And Bobby Quarters and the Organized Chaos podcast and
Phantom Initiative.
And the Phantom Initiative and Jordan Peterson, my dad.
Oh God.
No, I take that back.
He cries a lot.
Listen, he teaches me that men can cry. Okay.
Over really lame shit.
He's like,
I'm really upset because there are boys who are girls now, and it's upsetting to me.
Sometimes I think that the woke moralists have. Yeah.
It's like what real alpha male energy, guys. You pick someone.
Oh yeah.
I love how he goes from like crying about and again, there's nothing wrong with crying, crying, but like I love how he goes from that to like I hate like that women can speak up because I can't punch them in the face, you know?
Yeah.
I love when he uses that argument. You know, it's like if a guy says something that like if he's insulting me, I can punch him in the face. It's like you wouldn't. You know, like you're a little man. You're a little man.
Weird take too. It's like no, you shouldn't do it in either case. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like
don't punch people.
I've never wanted to punch a person who's just like disagreeing. And when I did, I was like 6. You know, my mom was like, "You don't do that," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I haven't done it since.
I've wanted to punch people, but I haven't done it since junior high. So
there's been several times I would love to punch Ben Shapiro, but I don't.
Oh God!
I mean, I would love to. I won't.
I feel like I wouldn't want to because I feel like it would be bullying. I feel bad for him afterwards.
Well, no, it's definitely one of those things where once you step over that line, it's like, fuck, now I'm the bad guy. Now it doesn't matter.
I don't think. Here's why.
Shit ever, because
I also know I wouldn't feel bad about it either. So there's
he has it coming. He has it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet money that his jaw is made of glass, but I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just have a
laugh about it and say it, but
I just have a weird thing where I feel bad for people. I can just like imagine him like on the ground with like bloody nose and just looking up and like stuttering to like try to get a rebuttal out, and I just feel so bad for about what I just did.
Well, that is something I've noticed. A lot of the people we argue against don't seem to have a lot of empathy, and it's like, how do you not? How do you?
Bro, it was so bad. Like, remember when Trump had COVID?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like saying he had to like do like a speech, and he was like visibly like he had trouble breathing and stuff. And like in that moment, I just saw like an old man who couldn't breathe, and he was like in the warmth, and I started feeling like sympathy, and I was like, stop!
Yeah,
this man literally like let thousands of people die in his country because he didn't take COVID seriously, and then now I'm feeling bad for an old man because he, it's like
I started to feel bad for him until I watched him do that dramatic pulling off of the mask.
Yep. Yeah, he's like,
and there's also that whole thing of January 6th where he told a bunch of people who invaded a house, a government building, broke in.
There are countless reasons why I don't feel bad for him.
Well, mostly the whole him telling them that he loves them and that they're special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a bit iffy.
But
there's a lot about old Golden Boy we could probably talk about.
Probably.
So so if you're not subscribed to Organized Chaos Podcast,
yes.
And like this, because I always forget to say stuff like that. Subscribe to Organized Chaos, subscribe to Bobby Quarter, subscribe to TurfNation, subscribe to Fandom Initiative. Yeah. There's more, I'm sure. Yes.
Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And
yes.
Oh yeah, next week. Bobby, we'll figure out the details, but I was thinking we could probably do like a best and worst of 2022. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So that'll be next week. Everyone have a good one.
Take care.
See you.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.